You ever feel stuck or like no matter what you do, just making progress feels extremely challenging or even maybe impossible? I've definitely been there, and I've learned some very deep lessons from those experiences and overcoming those experiences. So let's get straight into it and let me help you get unstuck so you can start making real progress in all your goals within yourself and in life in general. Let's go. I just want to start off with the main reason why we tend to get stuck in life or like just feel stuck in life is because we're not evolving as we should be evolving within ourselves. As I can tell you from personal experience, the only reason and the only ways where I really felt stuck in life were when I was stuck doing something that I didn't want to do, but I thought that I had to do it in life. For example, I have a training business, and for a while I started feeling stuck with that. You know, fitness training, sports performance training, basketball training, stuff that I love doing, stuff that I'm very passionate about. I still felt stuck when, actually hosting the training sessions, when working on the back end business stuff for my sessions, and all this stuff with, payments and payment systems and website building and all that stuff. I felt stuck, and I had to really sit with myself and just analyze and observe, why do I feel this way? I genuinely enjoy helping these people improve and evolve with themselves, with their craft, and becoming just healthier human beings overall in general. I genuinely do love that. But why do I feel this way? Why do I feel stuck? And so what I started to realize is that my soul was calling me to a higher calling. I was being called to do something more. Not just that, not grow in that, to kind of move on from that. Not just, keep doing it and keep growing it, scale it up and everything, which is what I wanted to do. I wanted to do in my ego, I wanted to do, thinking that it was part of my soul purpose. And really, yeah, it was part of my soul purpose. But I've been called to grow from that part of my soul's purpose. And so I recognize that this is the case with many people in life where they feel stuck and they don't know what to do because they think that they're doing the right thing for themselves, or that they're doing the right thing for their family or their loved ones or whoever it is that depend on them, whether it's just themselves or if they have others dependent on them. They think that they're doing the right thing when in reality, yeah, it was the right thing for that time period in your life, but now you're being called to something better for yourself, something more for yourself. So this is what the crux of the video is about: how to actually get unstuck and answer that calling for yourself, evolve into that higher version of yourself that you're being called to step into. So let's get into it. So number one, self-acceptance and forgiveness. So starting out with this process of inward evolution, we need to first accept ourselves as we are and accept that we got this self, or we got ourselves in this situation by our own choosing. It's not something that, is external that forced our hand into this. Unless you're in a situation that actually happened, that's different. But in most cases, no matter what we're doing in life, we chose this for ourselves. We're choosing this for ourselves. Like, for example, I didn't like a lot of aspects of my life that I just didn't enjoy. And I kept telling myself that I had to do it, I had to do it, I had to do it. But really, yeah, that may have been true for, a time period, a short time period, but I kept going with that because I kept choosing it. And therefore, what I didn't like kept growing. What you focus on, where your energy goes, that grows. So I just continuously kept giving energy to what I didn't like or what I didn't want. And I was wondering, why am I in this situation? Why do I feel stuck in this situation? It's because I chose it. Simple and plain and simple. I chose it for myself. Whether it's conscious, unconscious, or subconscious, we all choose the situations that we're in. So we have to accept that. And after accepting, we then need to forgive ourselves for it. So acceptance can be tough because it involves acknowledging, all the tough aspects of ourselves that we may not want to see, the shadow parts of ourselves, the shadow aspects of ourselves, or maybe just, certain, lower versions of ourselves that we don't really want to acknowledge, but we have to. It's part of growth. It's part of evolution. It's part of becoming the best version of yourself. It's part of self-mastery. So you must accept yourself as you are and accept your situation as it is, knowing and understanding and taking full accountability for the choices that you made that led you to being who you are and where you're at in life. So that's the first initial thing. Accept and then forgive yourself for it. Now, this may take time. This may take a lot of time, actually, but really, it depends on you. How willing are you to accept yourself and your experience? How willing are you to forgive yourself? Because forgiving doesn't mean that you're weak or anything like that. It just means that you're strong enough and you have enough willpower to actually accept and move on and heal from what it is that you have experienced. So this is why I'm big on forgiveness. You have to forgive yourself no matter what for anything that happens in your life, whether it's something else or somebody else that caused it, or you're the one that caused it. You experienced it for a reason. Now you have to accept it and forgive yourself for it. And now, number 2, stripping the ego of its power. So the ego really has no power over you. It, again, is what we choose to give power to. So if we give power to our ego, as in we give power to the stories that we tell ourselves, the stories that we grew up with of how I was raised when I was little and all this stuff that happened to me during childhood and everything. I'm not saying throw that out the window, but I'm saying that just like in the first step, you need to accept and forgive yourself for those experiences and realize that those aren't happening to you anymore. Those experiences and everything, they're not happening to you anymore. You don't have to continue giving power to those experiences anymore. Those experiences aren't you. You may think that they made you who you are, and to a degree, yeah, that's true. But at the same time, you have the power to choose who you are in every moment, because it all begins with the stories that we tell ourselves in our minds and what we feel for ourselves to be true in our hearts. Because most of the times, our minds and our hearts, at least speaking for people who haven't done the inner work yet, our minds and our hearts are not on the same, resonant level. They're not on the same frequency. They're vibrating at different frequencies, meaning that your mind can be telling you one thing, but then you're feeling something different in your heart. So this is conflict. But the more that you work on yourself, the more that you do the inner work, the shadow work, the inner child healing, the mind and the heart begin to connect and work well in harmony with one another. So this is ultimately what we're getting at. But it starts with just accepting yourself, like I said in step 1, accepting and forgiving yourself, and now recognizing that your ego has no power over you. So you are not this version of yourself that you keep telling yourself that you are. You're not this version of yourself. You're not the character. You're not any of that stuff. You are simply a being that has the power to choose your own potential. You're a being that has the power to choose your own life path. If you wanted to totally and radically change your life starting right now, you have the power to do that. But again, if you choose what you've been continuing to choose in the past over and over and over again, you're going to get the same results. So I'm inviting you and encouraging you now to choose something different. Understand that you have the power to choose that, and not just choose it, but to really actually live it. So this leads into the next step. Those were steps 2 and steps 3. Now, moving on to step 4, which is choosing or creating what you'd like to experience. So now that you've accepted yourself, now that you've accepted your experience, you've forgiven yourself for it, you let go of all the old stories that you told yourself, you let go of the perceived character that you were, and you let go of allowing the ego to have power over you. And now you understand that you are a being that is powerful enough to choose what you'd like to experience and what you'd like to live. So that doesn't mean that you choose every single thing in your reality, because we're all co-creators in this reality together. But you have the power to choose your own path or to create a new path. So this is what I'm inviting you to do now. So get into a meditative state. You can pause this video and do this, but get into a meditative state and just allow yourself to be at one with yourself. Allow yourself to drop into your heart and be in that state of oneness. Allow yourself to sit in that and be comfortable with it. And now from this state, you can allow yourself to see where you really want to live, where you really, the path that you really want to actually walk down. Not what you feel like you have to do. No, that's all in the past now. That's gone. Now, you're choosing what you want to do, what you really are passionate about doing. So what is that for yourself? What does that look like for yourself? What does that feel like for yourself? Can you see it clearly in your mind? Is it something that you've always seen for yourself? Or is it something you haven't really thought about yet? So no matter what it is, see it for yourself. Discover it. Choose it. Create it. And then step number 5, embody the version of yourself that is capable of living this life, that is capable of walking this new path for yourself. Because that's what it really comes down to, is full embodiment. Because you can choose something all day. You can choose to be a millionaire. You can choose to be a billionaire. You can choose to live a peaceful and healthy life. You can choose that. But if you're not actually embodying the version of yourself that is capable of living that life, then you're just going to continue choosing it, and small things may happen here and there, but the progress is going to be really slow, and you might find that you're kind of entering into that same feeling of feeling like you're stagnant, feeling like you're stuck again. When in reality, no, you just need to fully embody what you are and who you are, this new version of yourself, so you can actually experience and live the life fully and wholly. Because the more that you embody it, the more that you embody this new version of yourself that is capable of living this life and walking the path, the more that you actually magnetize everything that you need to you. The more that you actually amplify your signal out into the universe, out into your external reality. And now people respond to you differently. Now things respond to you differently. Now the energy around you is totally different because you're embodying this new version of yourself that is capable of being a millionaire, that is capable of being a billionaire, that is capable of living a peaceful and harmonious life and healthy life. So now everything starts changing because you changed. Your frequency changed, your energy changed. Everything about your consciousness is now changed to support this new version of yourself. So now, in being that version of yourself, now everything really changes for you. Now you attract everything that you need. Now you step into the doors that were previously unnoticed by you. Now you're noticing everything that you need to notice in order to actually live this full life of embodiment, of whatever it is that you choose for yourself. Money, wealth, finances, all that stuff, material possessions. Or maybe you're somebody that wants to just walk away from this, this social matrix and maybe live off grid. Now you're understanding and discovering new possibilities and ways to actually achieve that. Anything is possible as long as you start embodying what you want to be. And it's not what you want to be, it's what you're choosing to be. So start embodying it now. Claim it for yourself now. And step into that version of yourself now. And now, step 6, which is the last step in this, is just building momentum. So we start building momentum by, again, continually embodying who and what you are, this new version of yourself. But the real momentum builder is creatively expressing yourself, because energy loves to flow. Energy loves to move. The more that you allow it to move and express yourself, the more that, how do I say it? The more things around you, the more the universe starts to support you in everything that you're doing. Because think about it like this. It's kind of like the snowball effect, right? Where the snowball starts off at the top of the mountain, starts off really small, but then as it goes down further and further, picks up more speed, more momentum, more snow, and as it picks up more snow, becomes more heavier, and now as it becomes heavier, it moves faster and faster and faster, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's just, eventually it's like an avalanche of momentum that goes down that hill because you started from one single point, which is within yourself. So now, as you creatively express yourself more and more, and that doesn't mean doing things, totally unrelated to what your new life is about. That means finding ways within your new life to creatively express yourself. So let's say you're someone that wants to be a successful music producer. Then Obviously, making music is going to bring you more and more and more opportunities for you to actually embody that and live that real lifestyle. So, say if you're somebody that wants to be a successful business person, then creatively expressing yourself through business ventures, through creating a new website, through creatively, finding ways to creatively market yourself, finding ways to connect with people more and more creative ways and fun ways. Because that's one thing I forgot to mention, having fun with it. If you have fun with it and you're being creative and you have fun, it's like you're just playing now. And really, everything responds to play way, way, way better than responding to work. Because I know I say, do the work and stuff, but really what I'm talking about is playing. Because playing is the real work that we're doing. This is why, for example, right here, right now, this right here feels like play for me. This doesn't feel like work for me. Because I know that in the future, I'm going to be supported by, not even in the future, no, right now, I'm being supported by me expressing myself, by me teaching you these lessons, by me being a guide, a spirit guide, a coach, a life coach, a wellness coach, all this stuff. But for me, it doesn't feel like work. It feels like play because it's something that I really want to do. This is something that my soul has been calling me to do. So it feels like play. It doesn't feel like work. And the more that I play, the more that I do this, the more that I have fun, the more that I create, now I'm creating momentum. Now I'm building on that momentum. Same thing for you. Once you really know what it is that you want to do, now it's just about finding creative ways to have fun with it. Express yourself, have fun, get other people involved with it who are resonant with the frequency that you're embodying. So create, have fun, and just do what you really know you should be doing. And like I said, those 6 steps are simple, but again, simple doesn't mean easy. I said that in the past video. Simple does not mean easy, because if it was easy, pretty sure mostly everyone would do it. Of course, there'd be some people who don't want to, but again, it's a choice. So just because it's simple doesn't mean that it's easy, but it can become easy the more that you practice this. That's the key right there. Practice. The more that you practice this, the more that you live by it, the more that you actually embody this and integrate it within yourself, then it becomes really easy. It becomes like just, it's easy. It's nothing. It's so easy that it's like nothing. So in conclusion, I wrote down all the steps. So number 1, accept yourself where you're at and forgive yourself for choosing to be there. Number 2, strip the ego of its power and let go of limiting beliefs. Let go of all those beliefs that were holding you back in the past. It's good to identify them and let them all go. And then 3, know that you have the power and accept and acknowledge that you have the power to change and evolve into a higher version of yourself. Number 4, choose or create your new path or your new life. Number 5, embody this new version of yourself so you can really hold the frequency of this new reality. And then number 6, use your creativity to gain more momentum by having fun and creatively expressing yourself. That's what's going to bring you more and more and more and more and help you become more magnetized, or you become more magnetizing to everything that you need and everything that you desire in this reality. So before I leave off on this video, I want to give you guys some extra practices that will help you and supplement your new growth and your evolution to becoming this new version of yourself. Because it's a practice. So like I said, the more that you practice it, the more that it becomes integrated within you. And then simple and hard becomes simple and easy. So I want this to become simple and very easy for you so that you can really start living the absolute best life. And there's seemingly no resistance. It feels like there's no resistance. It just feels like flow and ease of flow, effortless progression. That's the point that I want you guys to get to. I'm getting there myself, and I want you guys to get there as well. So the first practice, simple journaling. So just simply write out your new story. It can be once, it can be every day, it could be every other day, whatever the frequency that feels like it works best for you, do it. Write out your new story, write out this new version of yourself, and write it as if it's past tense, as if you have already done it, so that when you're writing this, you're basically tricking your brain into thinking that I'm already this version of myself. It's not something that I'm striving to. It's not something that's out there or over there. No, it's something that I am. So write it out, write out your new story as if it's already happened. And then next practice, morning programming. So as soon as you wake up in the morning, after you reflect on your dreams and stuff, if your dreams have messages for you, that takes priority. But first thing in the morning, most important thing is programming yourself. Again, similar to journaling, now you're telling yourself this story. When you wake up, yeah, I am Razir. I am so-and-so, and I do this, and this is easy for me, and I'm beautiful, I am handsome, I am this, I am that. Affirmations. Tell yourself that story. Remind yourself daily so that it becomes a natural part of your being. And then, simple practice number 3, consume media that aligns and resonates with this new reality that you have for yourself, that you're creating for yourself. Like for me, for example, I wanted to become rich and wealthy, not just because I want money and materialistic things and everything, no, because I want to live a good and healthy and holistic life while also being supported for fulfilling my soul's purpose. So I want to have fun, be creative, fulfill my soul's purpose, and I want to have everything that I need. I don't have to worry about money at all. So I want to be rich and wealthy. And so I started watching content that aligns with that. Watching things like mansion tours, things like having a beautiful home in the jungle, things like financial literacy lectures, learning about financial literacy and everything to do with finances and money and how it moves and how currency operates and everything. Started learning and educating myself on that so they can become part of my being. And then also, this is kind of like another bonus, I created a music playlist of songs that I like, that I already like, that remind me of being on that wealth frequency. There's certain songs that, we'll say in the mainstream that glorify money, but a whole lot of other things that I don't really align with, like money and drugs and crime and adultery and all that stuff. And, I'm not about that. I'm walking the right hand path spiritually. And yeah, in my heart, I wanted something that reminds me of wealth, but in a more pure way. So with certain conscious artists, lyricists, rappers, MCs that I listen to, like Illuminati Congo, like Afiel, like even like old school songs like Airbnb and Rakim, Paid in Full, even like Get This Money by Slum Village. Songs like that, stuff that's more focused on just, the aspect of being wealthy. So I created a playlist and I listen to it from time to time, and it just helps me, again, be on that frequency of wealth and abundance. I called it my Conscious Wealth and Abundance playlist. So you can do stuff like that. Make a playlist on YouTube with certain videos that reminds you of that, and just find your own ways. But again, it's part of being creative, creatively expressing yourself, building that momentum. So let me know in the comments down below who you're growing into, and claim that new life for yourself right now. I want to see it, and as always, I want to support you. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. You can reach out to me on Instagram, the comment section, email, all that be in the description below. So just let me know. I'm here for you. I love you. I thank you. And I'm grateful for you. Ashe.